Oh, and can I ask, would you do much research on our website and that before, if you, or anywhere, if you're planning a trip to any, public space, would you go on the website and see, obviously how to get there, but, what sort of help might be available when you arrive? Is that something you ever do, or?
I would tend to research things to within an inch of their life. I would, as in, okay, I'm planning a work trip for this summer. I have about 16 tabs open, like looking at maps of the city I'm going to, the bus timetables there. I have to prepare everything like that. I have to know the names of the stops, all that kind of stuff. But if I was researching to come to a public space like this, yeah, I would absolutely be able, straight on the website, I would be looking for as much information as possible. A thing which sadly isn't too often available is floor plans.
Okay.
When I find a website that has those, it's like, it's great because then I can get that picture in my head of what the layout is going to be. So yeah, but then I know plenty of people who just rock up and do the thing, but I tend to research as much as I can to try and be as prepared as possible so that I know what I'm looking for. I know when I get to the reception, I can go, oh, I need to go to this room because this is the exhibit I want to go to see or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the wayfinding, I suppose, is the term, isn't it? They use I used to call it route planning.
But even from our point of view, people arriving here, like yourself, if they've come on public transport and done all their research, there are things still that maybe we could point out, things like the pavements outside are really uneven and might be very disconcerting for anybody it's disconcerting even without visual impairment. You really have to watch your footing, and I know the council have been trying to improve it, but it still it dips all the time. I mean, that's the kind of thing maybe that we could, a little bits of additional information like that we could have up there with the accessibility in terms of, the paving outside is uneven or
like double pedestrian crossing.
I was just
Saoirse's been doing a piece around, it's come up to both working groups already, how to get here.
Yeah.
Depending on if you're coming from the train station or Arthur's Quay, so we're trying to figure out the various options.
Yeah, and William, you were saying about the floor plans, this might seem like, maybe this is overkill from my point of view, but do the floor plans need alternative text? Would that benefit people, or?
So the problem with alternative text is you don't have that much space.
Yeah.
So to be honest, for a floor plan like that, you're probably not going to be able to have that much detail in the alt text. What you can, you're probably just going to have a very high contrast version of the floor plan.
Or even, I've heard of some places putting in tactile maps of each floor. So you'd actually, I can't think where now.
We actually have those in UL in the newer version of the library. There are on the walls there are tactile maps on the wall. You can trace your finger along the corridor and you can feel there's different textures for the walkway and the walls. The walls are kind of very smooth and the walkways are kind of rough, so that you can put your finger down on it. And it has all the different rooms are kind of laid out. It's quite well done. It's very, very high contrast. It tells you where all the rooms are, where they are. Again, they're not braille, which that's its own issue. But and you can have those, and I suppose the way they are in our building is they're in a very consistent location on each floor. They're right where you get off the lift. They're right opposite there. So I get off the lift, it's right ahead of me, or some of them are right where the stairwell is. So they're kind of a consistent thing. But for the website, having them there digitally, with kind of, like you could do, like, because you don't have that much space for alt text, you could try and do a written description of it, but whether that's going to be very useful, what you could do is provide a written description as almost, like, not as an almost a separate document. So we'll just say, I'm going off my own bad image of reception downstairs. You could say, like, okay, you come through a set of double doors, you're into a large open area. On your right is the stairs and the lift. Straight ahead there's like again, bad image, but there's like a round table with leaflets on it, and then further back to the kind of the straight ahead and to the left is the reception desk. You can obviously be a bit more specific than that.
Yeah.
But that would maybe give someone with no side a kind of a general impression of what's in that space. Because I know when I went to a conference in Glasgow a couple of years ago, they had that. They had their lab, but they also had that kind of written description of, okay, on the ground floor you'll have a big open area, there'll be tables all along the perimeter with exhibitors. Then if you follow those around, it kind of described how to get to the bathrooms. That kind of thing. I found, even though I have enough vision to kind of see the map, I found that description helpful.
And we have Navi-lens already. It's a navigational tool to help a person with visual impairment make their way through the museum. There are 9 codes in the museum. It's a piece that Karen and Collections has been doing, and we've tried through the working group. And it's great that the process has been started, but the content needs to be refined, and we need a lot more codes as well. It's an app that you download, and ultimately with that downloaded onto your phone, to simplify kind of the explanation, your phone recognises the codes, and that triggers an audio description which will describe the space you're in and the types of things, top level description of the objects in that space. So that combined with the proper map should really be useful.
94 centimeters away, prologue room and introduction to the collections. The galleries of the Hunt Museum are spread over 3 floors, full stop. We begin our tour on the middle floor, which is the first floor of the museum.
A couple of museums there recently, and they had obviously spent a lot of money on doing an audio thing as part of their presentation. And while it was good in the sense that it would read the descriptions or read passages of information to you, the problem I found was it was, okay, where is it zone 1, where is zone 2? It was actually being able to define where you were was the challenge.
So are you saying, Ken, to have a physical map with the locations, the numbers of each stop for that audio tour on a map?
I think maybe that would be helpful, but I think that wherever you're going to zone, have them all in the same place as you go along. Like it could be, straight in front of you in a mat, or something like that. Or, a sign at the right outside of a room as you enter, or hanging down straight overhead or something, zone 1, just have it somewhere obvious, because that was part of the thing that everywhere you went, it was in a different place, each number, and you were there, it's here, it's over here, it's here, where is it, where am I? So it made it very disorientated.
Yeah, it's even something that came up with the feedback on Navi-lens, the importance of consistency, pacing, it's like a QR code.
Which is head
to the right hand side at eye level. And we struggle here in this museum because we don't actually very little wall space.
Yeah.
And in galleries and that, so the same applies to the maps, the location of the maps.